The Minneapolis Community Connection is brought to you by City Pharmacy, Auto Tech, C&R Plating, Robertson Monuments, and State Bank of Delphos.
Hi, I'm Hope Spano from the Minneapolis Area Chamber of Commerce, and today I am with Dr. Ashley Swisher and Dr. Lisa Metzen from All Smiles Dental in Minneapolis, and we're just going to learn a little bit more about these ladies and what All Smiles brings to the community. So thank you girls for being with us today.
Thank you.
Yeah, and so first I just want to ask you guys, how long has All Smiles been here?
We moved, came to Minneapolis and started the practice, bought out Dr. Hergus in July of 2010. So we are going on our 4th year.
Man, time flies. I can't believe that it's already the 4th year.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's my understanding that you came here first, and then Dr. Metzen came later. So how far after the start of the business did you join?
Dr. Swisher took over Dr. Fred Hargis's practice in July of 2010, and then I came in January of 2011 when the new facility opened.
Okay, so that was kind of good timing to transition with the bigger space, because the old space was a lot smaller.
Yeah, there wouldn't have been space for both of us, so absolutely.
Okay, very cool. All right, so I just want to find out a little bit about what brought you to the Minneapolis area and why you guys chose this as your home.
Sure. We both kind of had the vision, I think, just in life that we wanted to practice in a small town, and we knew we wanted to do dentistry and really help people. And previously, we both practiced in bigger cities where we didn't get to know our patients. They were family-based practices, but they didn't get to do a whole lot or get to see the same patients over and over again to get to know them. And we wanted to develop those relationships with our patients, and we've kind of revamped our vision and mission where it's always been the same, but we're now kind of coining our journey beyond your smile, because that's just it. We really want to get to know them, not just their teeth. So that's a big vision of ours, and we shared that vision. So as we are classmates in dental school, we didn't know for sure we'd do this, but I think we had kind of jokingly talked about it before, and now it's making it happen.
Okay, so really right from the beginning when you guys were in school, you just clicked really well and thought that working together in the future would be fun.
Yeah, and we love the opportunity that Minneapolis had to offer and what a rural area it serves. We can help, everything, anything, all the services that we can provide and see them from when they're kids to elderly, and being able to do all the services. We do refer out stuff that we're not comfortable with, but that's not very much, so.
Okay.
We've loved it.
Well, I love that, because that's kind of what a small town is all about, really. And so you guys didn't have families when you first moved here, correct? I mean, you were both married, and so now you both have children?
Yep.
Okay, and another one on the way.
Yes.
When's your due date?
May 15th.
May 15th.
Yep.
All right, so coming up soon. And Lisa, tell us a little bit about your family.
I have 2 little ones, which Olivia, I had already had Olivia when we moved here. She was about 1.5 years when we first moved here, because we were in Kansas City before we came to Minneapolis. And now I have Will, and he is almost 1 year. So, yeah.
And Maddox is your son. How old is Maddox?
And he's 2.
He's 2.
Yep.
So, okay, so you've been running the business for a while, and then
Yes.
he joined the practice?
Yes. And that's what I'd say, that's really why we want to be so family friendly, and all of our staff, we all have kids, and we know what it's like to go to the dentist and don't want that experience to be scary, and also want to try to keep affordable care. And so we do everything we can at doing the best quality of work and being able to provide those services, and keeping it local is a huge expense of a lot of that. So
it is nice in a smaller town to have something like this, because I understand we're the only dental place in all of Otto County,
in the
right?
county,
Is that right? Yeah.
Yep.
And so, and you guys now do braces and stuff too?
Yeah.
So
just over the last year, I've done a lot of training in orthodontics, and we're not specialists, but we can handle some pretty even severe cases. So I've really taken on that as a passion of mine, and we've being both females in the profession, we're trying to pick and choose. We can both do it all, but one of us is trying to get more education on one because there is a lot of time and expenses that go into education, and being able to do the specialty services. And so that's what orthodontics is kind of in mine, and I'll let Lisa share kind of what she's taken on.
Okay.
I've been doing a lot of extra training in oral surgery, so wisdom tooth extraction, and then also in placing implants and doing bone grafts. So we're trying to offer as many services as we can here in town, especially, it's a 30-minute drive to Salina, but a lot of our patients, if they need certain services, they even have to go further than that to Manhattan, Topeka, or Wichita. So we're trying to do as much as we can here so that way people don't have to travel quite as far. And that's one of the great things with the braces. I mean, the kids, if it's a child, they have a lot of appointments, or I should say all patients have a lot of appointments when it comes to getting braces. But for kids to take that much time off school is very difficult. So it's great,
take out that
to have
travel
it here.
time, man, that makes a big difference.
When you add an hour onto each appointment, whereas, if they come here, it's just a 5-minute trip, hopefully.
Cool.
And I also think a huge part of that is comprehensive care. We're looking out for everything of all their services, whereas the specialist may just look at one thing. And so if we can provide comprehensive care, it is less expensive because we can do a lot of prevention before it gets worse, and catching things early.
Okay.
So
now, do you guys like the size of your staff and stuff that you currently have? And how many do you employ?
We were just talking about this. We employ 8, and we really could probably grow. We love this size because we really get to know our patients, and we get to see the same ones. So with every business, of course, you want to see healthy growth, but we don't want to get to be a big practice. We love this size. I love this size. This is really what my 10-year goal was, and we're there for. And just being able to provide where she can keep the office open if I'm gone, or vice versa, or if we have, being females, have babies and that sort of thing. It really provides us flexibility, but we love mostly that we get to see the same people. We know our patients inside and out, all 8 of us on the team. Here we go through morning huddle where we talk about each patient and where they're at, what they can do to prevent further disease, and that kind of thing.
Nice.
So we really look at our patients as, are we doing everything we can for them? And I think if we got to be much bigger, it would be hard to do that and remember everything about all of our patients. So yeah.
So maybe a little growth in the future, but
Possibly,
we're pretty content for right now.
But we want to stay small, so I can always see us staying small.
Okay, so tell our viewers, what are your normal operating hours so that when you guys are here,
Sure. We are usually here Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday from 7 to 3. We have played around with those hours at different times, and we just find that that's the most consistent of when people can make their appointments, and also for us and being able to provide for our families. We are in the office some Wednesdays with either a half staff, or if we feel like we're getting really busy and need to add in extra appointments, we have that flexibility, which is, again, the flexibility of a small practice, that we can ask staff members to come in and do that work. So we really try to provide that, but also look at our lifestyle plan and our values and say, to work hard, but not overdo it, because we both want to do it for a good amount of time, and we don't want to burn out. So, and we love that part of it. So
Very
we'll be here for a while.
Good. Okay, so tell me a little bit about something that someone might not know that you guys do here. Because you both told me a little bit about your specialties, but is there something else that makes you different than any other, dental practice that you can think of?
Yeah. Talk about what you're thinking of something.
I was going to say, I would say we've really in the last year developed a lot of systems for how we do things. And our new patient process, we want to make extremely unique. And we want the patient to feel like we're listening from all aspects. So instead of them coming in and us diagnosing and just giving them their treatment option, we want to develop the best treatment option for them. And that requires listening to whether they have insurance, what their financial considerations are, what they value. If they don't value the best care, what can we do that is great care, but may not last a lifetime versus the best that would, because it's not in their value or their means to be able to do that at this time, but it may be for life. So we really try to develop patients that are going to be patients for life and say, you know what, this can probably hold off for 5 years, and develop plans that are lifelong plans and not just say, what dentistry can we get done today? And our big vision is the best dentistry is none. So if there's anything we can prevent, then great, because we cannot do as good a job as God. And so anything that, you know, we can eliminate and not have to do is great, but we don't want to wait for it to cause a problem, because then it's more expensive. So going into really listening to that patient, we do a big questionnaire and really sit down and interview our patient to see what's important to them before we even talk teeth. And that to me is huge, and we've really revamped that process this year. So it's getting exciting to really implement that. And like we said, I mean, the stories that we have that go with our patients of how it's really changed their life, but maybe would have been really minimal dentistry, or the ones that we would have never expected to want to put all the money that they did into their teeth, and it's changed their lives, you know, and just different things that's why we do it. I mean, it's really exciting.
And this day and age, you know, great customer service. I mean, because that's basically what you're talking about is really great customer service. I mean, that can set you aside or set you apart from so many people, because a lot of people this day and age just don't take the time to do that. So I think that's pretty awesome.
Especially healthcare facilities, we feel like that's something lacking in
it's
the
less
healthcare
personal.
Right.
Yeah, so that's great. Did you have anything to add to that you can think of?
No, I mean, she really covered it. It's been a big program that we've really been working on this last year, and we're definitely starting to see the rewards of it, and I think our patients are starting to notice. It seems like on at least a weekly basis, if not daily basis, we have people say, gosh, you guys are different. You really care, which is exactly what we want. We want them to see that, and we want them to see that we don't care just about their teeth. We care about them as a person, and we want to get to know them and how we can help them.
That's awesome. I mean, that's the greatest reward right there, is when people notice the difference that you're taking, and that's the reason that you do it. And so, I mean, I know our family loves coming here, and even my husband has commented, you know, that he's never really had a favorite dentist or like want to go back to the same dentist. And he's like, I like those girls down there. I'm going to keep going there. which for him, that's a good thing, you know, especially because he's got to change around his schedule, which is hard for him.
And that's what I was going to say. We really try to value the patient's time. So we know that taking the time out of their work or their family lives to come in and get stuff done, we don't want to overwhelm them, but we also want to be comprehensive. The other part of that that we really look to is the less, you know, the more internal referrals we get from just being great, the less money we can spend on advertising and things like that, which keep costs low. We haven't changed our fees since my day one. So almost in 4 years, we haven't had to raise our fees, which is pretty unlikely. Most practices have to do that more often. So I really try to pride ourselves in that and keeping that as low as possible.
Affordable.
Yeah.
Well, very cool. The only other thing I could think of is there some kind of upcoming special or anything that you guys, you know, any additional information that you kind of want to share with the public that they might want to know?
We did actually talk about this because we do whitening, but it's not something we advertise a lot. Or at all. We don't advertise. And we were saying, you know, come graduation time, come prom time, all of that. You know, whether even maybe Mother's Day, to do fun things like that around holidays, around special events would be great to be able to do. And that's what we kind of need, that extra manpower to be able to do the extra fun things. And that's really where we're getting, where we have those systems in place where we can devote time to doing that and be able to spread the word about how they can do it and make it affordable. So that's something we've talked about in the future, is kind of doing fun things around events. But definitely check us out at Mini K Day. We're going to try to run the talent show again at Mini K Day, so people can come show off their talent and their smiles. And
I know everybody enjoyed that a lot last year, so I'm glad to hear you guys are doing that again next year, or this coming year. Also, you guys are very good on your Facebook page as well, of promoting that a little bit and, you know, putting fun information on that. And so is that somewhere that you might post specials
Yeah, absolutely. We try to keep that updated, and we always put our hours for the week. As Dr. Swisher mentioned before, we usually are here on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Friday, but if for some reason we're going to be here an extra day or our hours are a little bit different, make sure that you like our Facebook page, and we update that each Monday so that way you can see when we'll be here and when you can catch us.
Okay.
And then we try to put when we're doing different events, the Red Dress Run, or we usually go up to Concordia for the Fall Fest and different things like that. So we try to keep everyone updated on what we're up to. So
And do you
check
have a
us out.
website as well?
We do. It's allsmilesdentalcare.org, and we're kind of revamping it right now also. But yes, definitely check us out. We have lots of information on there, and it'll be going through some changes quickly. So.
All right. Well, I think that about covers it. Thank you so much. And even though my family already comes here and sees you guys, I felt like I learned a lot about what you guys offer and, the new things that are coming up and all of the education you continue to get that just, solidifies why we continue to come here. So thank you so much for being with us today.
Thank you.
Thank you. It's our pleasure.
Well, that's all for Minneapolis this month.
The Minneapolis Community Connection is brought to you by City Pharmacy, Auto Tech, CNR Plating, Robertson Monuments, and State Bank of Delphos.